Welcome back, everyone here to Brock Starks. Today, I got a very special video for you guys. We are going to be talking about the state of the New York Yankees. We're going to dive into everything there is to talk about with the New York Yankees currently. Talk about Judge, Rodon, the team, the bullpen, this and that. As you guys know, the Yankees got 2 series wins at home. The first one being against the Seattle Mariners. The second one being against the first place Texas Rangers, leading the West. And really, the way they got it done was the pitching staff. The pitching staff has been unbelievable. The starting rotation has been very good for the most part. And the bullpen's the best in baseball. I mean, where would this Yankees team be without their bullpen? I don't know where they'd be. This bullpen has really stepped up. I mean, even guys like Nick Ramirez coming out there and shutting the door. Everyone in that bullpen is contributing, and they've played a big reason why the Yankees have had the success they've had. Obviously, the offense has been not great. It's just been bad. I mean, they got big hits yesterday, which they needed, but it's been bad. So, Christian, what is your vibe with the team right now? How are you feeling?
It's funny, Ryan, because if Harrison Bader doesn't get that hit, right, on Sunday, it is totally different. We're probably going live right now, and it's something like, I don't know, what's wrong with the Yankees? Are the Yankees a playoff team? But look, thank God for our pitching, right? The bullpen's the best in baseball. The rotation, once we get Rodon back, and especially now that Smith, I can't say his name, especially that Clarke's pitching well now. Look, it's going to be really good. And look, the only missing piece is that offense, right? And I know that's kind of a big one, right? That's half of what you need to do. I to be honest, at this point, Ryan, it's win enough games until Aaron Judge comes back. And that's why, that's kind of how you have to look at it. Because, when I was watching these games during the homestand, and I know I was texting you a ton saying, look, I don't even know how we can get invested. This offense will not score a run in the playoffs. But I got to keep reminding myself, right? This is like the worst it's going to be, right? We have literally none of the guys that should be hitting. And it's a lineup without Aaron Judge. So, you keep reminding yourself, all right, once this team, some guys pick it up and Aaron Judge is in the lineup, the offense is not going to be, the best in baseball by any means, but it should be good enough to complement the pitching. So
no doubt about it, Christian. And when they get Judge back, the offense will get a lot better. If we go back, I think towards the end of May, near Memorial Day, the Yankees scored 30 runs in 3 games. They had 3 straight games where they scored 10 runs. One of them in the series finale against the Padres, and then 2 in Seattle against the Mariners. So they are capable, but I mean, this just shows you how different this team is without Aaron Judge. I mean, it's really like from 0 to 100 without him. I mean, there's like no middle ground. This guy is so important to the New York Yankees. And without Aaron Judge, the Yankees can't win a World Series. I don't think. I think it's nearly impossible. But, at this point, we just got to think, all right, we got an easy schedule coming up. We're playing the worst team in baseball. We're playing the Oakland A's. We got the St. Louis Cardinals, who are in last place next. We just got to stay put. And what I mean by that is we just got to tread above water. We got to stay above water. And when Judge gets back, hopefully we'll be in a good spot, be able to make a push and, probably, get a wild card spot or something. But they just gotta tread water. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out on the division. Rays, look, they're having a fabulous year. They're a really good team. I'm out on the division. Look, you just got to maintain that wild card spot, okay? And even maybe do a little more than maintain it. Get it so that you don't have to be the 2021 Yankees where you're going all out in the last few games of the season, right? Be one of the better wild card teams. And I don't know who was talking about this, but someone was saying it is kind of a different year this year, just in terms of the other teams in baseball. there's not like a crazy like power team. The
No,
Astros, they're a game worse than the Yankees this year.
yeah,
Best team in the AL is the Rays, but we can beat them. And the NL, it's the
yeah,
Braves. Other than that, like everyone is either underperforming or you have teams you wouldn't expect kind of overachieving. Like Dodgers aren't that good. So you get in the playoffs. It's not like you're just expecting to get knocked out by a powerhouse. No, you're gonna compete. Like so it's a little different this year, Ryan.
yeah. Yeah, no
Um
doubt about it, Christian. It's really, I mean, I think it's a great thing for baseball that they have so many teams competing now. And, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out during the trade deadline. I think a lot of teams that we thought were pretenders going in, that, weren't good teams, they might just hold their pieces or even add on to make a push. Teams like the Angels, maybe even the Marlins. So I think it's good for baseball, but I mean, it's really crazy. And this year has definitely so far not turned how you all thought it would be.
Yeah, and Ryan, I'll say this. Like, good for the Yankees. I'm happy if we play the Orioles in the playoffs. And I don't mean that with any disrespect to the Orioles. We can still lose, but I'm just so sick of playing the Astros every single year. If we're going to lose, it's time to lose to someone else, right? And I also think that the Yankees match up a lot better against some of these teams. You'll have either Minnesota or Cleveland winning the Central. I am not concerned about either of those teams.
No.
In the West, look, Yanks just won a series against the Rangers and the Angels. We'll see if they stay afloat. And look, the Astros, they're just not playing well this year. So in terms of the AL, like the Yankees have possibly their best shot just in terms of the rest of the league this year, just because there's not like a crazy
Yeah.
powerhouse team other than the Rays, really.
Yeah. The big question is going to be the big concern is, um, you know, we have to get there first. We have to get there. We got to get in the playoffs. And then once we do that, I like our chances. I like this team fully healthy. And you got to hope the Yankees are going to add on here at the deadline, unless they just, completely fall out of it by July. But looking at their schedule,
Which
I
won't
would be,
happen, and they're not. They're a good
yeah,
enough
no.
team.
But I think the Yankees, if they add on, they get Aaron Judge back. They got Carlos Rodon and Garrett Cole as that 1-2 punch. Sevy's pitching a lot better. I mean, he had one really, really good start, so he is pitching better. Clarke looks pretty good. And we'll get Nestor back. And the bullpen's just been phenomenal. I think the Yankees got a real legitimate team there, and I think they could get hot at the right time with all their pieces mixing and gelling. And then, October, it is a crapshoot, but we'll see what happens. But Christian, that brings up the question: who are you looking at for the trade deadline? Who do you want the Yankees to acquire this trade deadline?
The number one guy is Jock Peterson. I just think he's perfect. I think he just lengthens the lineup, right? You have a power lefty in probably the 5 hole, fully healthy. I just really like the idea of that.
Yeah,
I don't think the Yankees need another starting pitcher. Earlier this year, I did, but they have enough depth. Brito can fill in if we need. Once Rodon comes back, we're either going to have Clarke or Herman in the bullpen. I honestly think we're good on pitching. I don't even know if we really need to go after a reliever.
no,
To be honest, I think we're set. But it is a necessity. You get a left fielder. So
yeah,
whether that's Jock, I don't know if the Cubs are gonna. Well, I guess they just extended Ian Happ, right?
yeah. They extended
So
him.
Ian Happ's no, but
Bellinger, though.
Bellinger, yeah, he's who I was thinking of. It's you got to get a left fielder, right? I like
Yeah,
what Bowers has been doing, but you need a legitimate left fielder, not an infielder, not a AAA guy, a left fielder that's been in
yeah.
baseball for a few years.
Yeah, there's some guys out there. The thing is, the Giants got hot, so and even the Cubs too. I mean, the Cubs are 2 games under 500, but I mean, the NL Central's a joke. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a joke, and this is a problem. We're not going to dive into this too much, but whether the MLB likes this or not, I guess it sort of makes things more competitive. I guess it's good for the game. Teams play each other, but I mean, the NL Central and the AL Central are jokes. I mean, because they used to just beat up on one another. Now they can't do that really. So I mean, it really is a joke. But the Cubs, they're still in that division. The Giants have been playing really well. So who knows if these guys would sell? They're great fits for the Yankees.
A team you could look at is the Cardinals. I mean, they're
Yes.
last place. They have a lot of guys. I think we talked about Lars Nootbaar in one of our videos. They have a lot of outfielders.
Yeah.
Young guys. So
another
they
guy,
could 100% be a team.
Another guy, Christian, he hasn't really done it with the bat much at all this year, but he's an extremely excellent defender. Tyler O'Neill, John Heyman brought up. I think Tyler O'Neill has 3 gold gloves. Really, really good defender in the outfield. Righty bat. So I don't know. I mean, there is guys out there. We heard some talk today about Andrew McCutchen, who I think has like an 820 OPS, and he was a former Yankee, righty bat. He's batting like 273. I feel like he could be a good fit. Another former Yankee, Mike Tauchman. He's only had 100-something at bats, but he's been playing well. So there's some guys out there. I wonder how creative Cashman is, because he always pulls off that sneaky move. I could think maybe this year he pulls out something out of his hat and he gets a guy that we had no idea, like we didn't have on our radar at all. So the trade deadline is going to be interesting. We still got like a month away. So it'll definitely be interesting. But moving on from that, Christian, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, Josh Donaldson, Christian. I mean, what are your thoughts on Josh Donaldson? You think the Yankees are going to eventually DFA him? I mean, what's going on there? We had the whole talk yesterday. Boone was 30 minutes late to his press conference. And Donaldson was really snappy with the media. They were just asking him questions. And he's like, you're making this out to be something. It's not. So it's really crazy. But what are your thoughts there?
No, Donaldson is wrong. You don't show up 30 minutes late to a press conference because you're just joking around with one of your players. No, that's weird. They were obviously having a long talk. Maybe even Boone was trying to convince him to retire. Who knows? But, I mean, Donaldson playing it off like, oh, we were just, joshing it up. Nothing serious.
Yeah, ball talk.
That's ridiculous. Look, Josh Donaldson's not going to be on the team by the end of the year. We've already seen it. The Yankees have cut ties with guys. It's the last year in his contract. He's not going to be on the team. That's bottom line. So even though Boone, says these things that Josh Donaldson's going to play a lot, even though did he start a game in the Rangers series?
No, he pitch hit and struck out.
That was a terrible move too. But no, it's just quotes from Boone and trying to inject confidence. But I was kind of saying this at the beginning of the year. It's giving Donaldson a very quick leash. Just because, I mean, I saw enough at-bats in 2022. Yeah. If there was some adjustment or something, he would have made it already, okay? This guy was an MVP. He was once a really good player, but he's 36 or 37 years old.
37.
He's just not good enough anymore. So,
yeah,
eventually the Yankees will cut ties. I think it's just bound to happen. And until then, there's probably going to be a month of him getting booed every at-bat and Boone coming up with quotes saying that we believe in the guy. And then, one random day in August, we're going to get the DFA move.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees, everyone's like, why the Yankees don't DFA these guys? The Yankees do DFA these guys when it came to Hicks or, when they DFA'd A-Rod of all players years ago when A-Rod wasn't playing well. The Yankees do DFA guys who are, like, really struggling. The problem with what they do is they give these guys way, way, way too long of a leash. Josh Donaldson, look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I thought there was a possibility he could bounce back and have a good season. I mean, he was only a year removed from doing it in 2021, hit 25 homers. But I mean, he was just really bad last year. He's just even worse this year. He's a complete guess hitter. He just doesn't have the bat speed to get it done anymore. And, I think maybe Donaldson was frustrated he wasn't in the lineup for 3 straight games. Who knows? And maybe that's what him and Boone were talking about. But I'd say I'd give Donaldson probably to the trade deadline, I think. unless he has some miracle bounce back tear, which is extremely unlikely. But I give him to the trade deadline when the Yanks add pieces and whatnot. Then there's just really no spot for him, and at this point, you're turning up for the pennant chase. And I'd be shocked if the Yankees kept him on the team. And who knows if he's even going to play next year? He said he's unsure about it. And Christian, probably in a few years we'll talk about on a video as he being another guy for the Yankees that didn't pan out.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. He's old. Like, it's not the end of the world. Honestly, shouldn't have made that trade and took on $50 million in the first place. But Ryan, another guy that's been struggling big time at third, DJ LeMahieu. He had a double yesterday, Sunday. And I guess you could say he's picking up, but at the same time, not really. I mean, what do you do with him? Is he done? Is he struggling? Is he injured? What's going on?
Listen, he's 34 years old. I mean, he's coming off that toe injury he had last year. There definitely could be some things going on. I think Cashman even was saying he's wondering if DJ's hiding an injury. Who knows? He also had a double on Friday. So that's 2 extra base hits. But listen, I mean, he's struggling. I think I wouldn't say he's done, just because I don't know. Just because there's a lot more time left, and I think he needs a bigger sample size. I don't think he's done. I don't know if he'll ever be the player he was in 19 and 20. I'd actually be pretty surprised if he was that player again. Is he done? I don't think so, but I think he's a lot better than how he's playing right now. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And Giancarlo Stanton, he had a big hit yesterday, but he's another guy struggling. He even said it in the post game yesterday. He's always accountable, Big J, which I totally respect. But same thing with Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever be an all-star again, but listen, I mean, I think him, DJ, and Stanton are both better than the way they're playing right now. I know Boone said it too, but my opinion, they're just better than how they're playing right now.
Yeah, Stanton, I'm sure about that. He's fine. I mean, he always does this coming off an injury. It takes him a while to find his groove. And at the end of the day, he's a monster in the postseason. Like, I am not worried at all about Stanton. Does he need to start hitting? Yes, because we need to win games, but I'm not worried about him. DJ, yes, but you also have, it's not like DJ needs to be starting. You have other options. Like, you can, if he's really still struggling down the stretch, you can arrange it so he's not playing third. He's not starting. So
yeah,
I'm hoping he picks it up. But if he doesn't, we don't have to panic. We don't have to trade for someone. He'll just be on the bench. So, I mean, those are the 3 guys that are really struggling. Another brief thing. We don't have to talk about this for a while, but Gleyber Torres. He's had just, I guess, a typical Gleyber Torres year, ups and downs. But it's just so weird, just the mental lapses, how a professional baseball player can go through that. I'm trying to think of how to put this. He runs on a ball he shouldn't run.
Yeah.
And gets doubled up twice in 2 series. Like, how does that happen? And do you ever bench him? I don't know.
I mean, listen, it's tough, especially nowadays, and I really don't want to hear like the argument like it's not as common in today's game. I mean, look, it's not as common, but let's not sit here and say teams don't do it. I mean, Kevin Cash literally benched the Rays, one of their best players, Wander Franco, the other day because he doesn't handle his emotions well. He's a young kid. We've seen David Ross of the Cubs do it. We saw AJ Hinch do it to Javi Baez. It happens. I could understand the position the Yankees are in right now, because Gleyber Torres is like right now he's like one of the only hitters that's hitting. He's one of the better hitters on the team. So like if you bench him with the offense struggling as much as it is, you're taking out one of your better hitters batting second in your lineup. But the problem is, I mean, you could send a message, you could let a message be known in other ways than benching a guy. I mean, this just can't happen. It just can't happen here, especially down the stretch. God forbid in the postseason. The problem is this continues to happen, and it's not just this season. It's a year in, year out thing, and there's no repercussions for it. The Yankees, look, I don't know what they do with accountability. We saw it last year with Josh Donaldson pimping flyouts that wouldn't leave the yard. It happened in a playoff game against Cleveland. He thought the ball was out in game 1, started jogging around first base. He was tagged out. So, listen, I don't know what their take is on accountability. I don't know if it's they believe it's some kind of modern thing, where guys, take it too hard, but I don't know. Something has to be done because this can't happen. That's the bottom line. It can't happen.
I just don't like it because, we had a few conversations about Torres in the offseason, and because there were some trade rumors, I was trying to decide in my brain, do I like Gleyber Torres? Do I want him on the team? And ultimately I landed at yes because he's pretty important for the lineup. But that shouldn't happen with a young, really talented player like that. There shouldn't be any thought. It should be, yes, I love this guy. But no, because he goes in these slumps. Yeah. And then he goes in these mental lapses. And then he makes these dumb mistakes. And it's annoying to watch. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen for that young of a player.
Listen, I blame 50% of it on Gleyber. He's the one out there making those mistakes. Has to be better. And the thing with Gleyber is some people say he has a low IQ. We've seen Gleyber at times make really high IQ plays. One example of them being against the Astros when he scored all the way from first on an infield single. Excellent base running. But then he also makes these he has these mental lapses. I just think the real problem here, obviously Gleyber's creating these problems, but it's like a bad habit and the Yankees are doing nothing about it. I mean, it really is amazing. I mean, Chris, you play high school baseball. I played. If that kept happening, if someone was doing that on a high school team, I know for a fact they'd be pulled off the field. I just don't know. I just don't know what. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why the Yankees continue to allow this. I mean, there has to be some reason. Maybe, we know Gleyber's always in his head. So maybe if they benched him, it'd be the end of the world. We saw it last year with the trade rumors. He literally went on had a 1 month slump because it was all in his head. I have no idea. I don't care how it fixes or whatever. All I know is it needs to stop.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's enough on Torres. Just keep hitting and just stop making stupid mistakes, honestly. How about shortstop, Ryan? Anthony Volpe, since he changed his stance, he's hitting better. It's still, there's still some things that aren't great.
Yeah,
he's definitely gotten a little better.
Yeah.
The numbers are creeping up. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling a little bit better. I am still concerned with the strikeouts. I mean, we saw it yesterday with a run on third, 1 out. He struck out. But he did get that big hit later in the game. He did pick up that double. Yeah, the numbers are creeping back up. There still is a lot of things to be concerned about. But, the Yankees not being able to figure out that there was a problem with his stance and Austin Wells did is a whole nother story. But I've been reading a lot about Volpe, and there was a story that came out a few days ago. I forget where it was, so I do apologize. But one of the Yankee scouts, or a former Yankee scout or something, who's been following Volpe his whole career, I think ever since he was in high school, literally he threw his phone at the TV the other day because he's saying that he knows the problem with Volpe and that he's swinging out of his shoes, and the swing is totally different from where it was when he was in the minor leagues. And we see it with 2 strikes. I mean, he takes this massive swing and he can't hit a high fastball. 2 strikes, they'll just give him the high fastball. He's swinging for the moon. And so anyway, the scout threw his phone at the TV. He can't take it anymore. There's problems with Volpe, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what the Yankees are doing. Like, their coaching staff. I mean, we have Aaron Hicks. Just whether that was a mental thing or whatever. Hicks saying the Orioles hitting coaches help fix his swing, but Aaron Hicks is tearing the cover off the ball. He's batting over
Well,
300 since being an Oriole. But I don't know. I really don't trust the Yankees hitting coaches, so I have no idea. But there's obviously some mechanical adjustments that still need to be made. Although the stance that has definitely helped, and we are seeing some good signs from Anthony Volpe. That's for sure.
I'd wait till the end of the season for Hicks. It's like 30 at bats. We've watched him for long enough, Ryan.
I mean,
he did
sucked.
not have anything left in the tank.
Don't get me wrong, he had to be DFA'd 100%. But I mean, he's hitting, so I don't know.
I'm interested to see if that keeps going. Look, I'm happy Volpe's hitting better. I just want to see him. To be honest, I want to see him hit more singles and less home runs. Like we don't. A single is almost more with him, right? Use your speed. He's walking a little bit more. That's nice, but just we don't need the big swing. Volpe's game it's supposed to be different from the rest of the lineup.
If Volpe is going to get his home runs. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he just needs to have more of a level swing and just stop launching the ball. Especially with 2 strikes. I mean, they'll just pound on that high fastball, and it seems to get him every time. Like I said, the stance was a great first step. That has definitely helped a lot. There is some mechanical adjustments that still need to be made with his swing, but he is hitting a lot better, which is good. Should help get his confidence up, and he's playing really good over there at shortstop. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I want to mention this briefly from Bags to the idea of trading Trey Sweeney. Again, I don't think we need a starting pitcher, but look, to be honest, Ryan. Look, I'm really excited. If he stays with the Yankees, I'm really excited to see what Trey Sweeney is going to be because I think he has a lot of talent.
Yeah, have you seen him in the minor leagues? He's just.
I know his numbers are crazy. He's every level he's just been destroying. But look, Ryan, I would be pretty open to trading him this year at the deadline because his price is at an all-time high right now. And if you want, especially if you want to get a big guy like Jock or someone. Look, I'm in for trading him because his price is at an all-time high, and we have Volpe, who's going to be hopefully our shortstop for at least the next 6 years or until he's a free agent. We have Peraza, if that doesn't work out. Do we need another shortstop? I get you can convert Sweeney to outfield.
We even have Roderick Arias down there. He has so many shortstops, so many infielders. The thing that was really interesting to me is they haven't changed his position, which I mean he's in Double-A. If you're like, all right, Volpe is your shortstop, but you want to have Trey Sweeney on your team, they haven't moved him to third base, which is probably a position by the time he's ready the Yankees could have him fill. They haven't moved him to the outfielder. He could be an outfielder. He's speedy, he's fast, he's big. Could be an outfielder. They haven't moved his position, which I find very interesting because if you're going to do that, you're going to do that in the minor league so he can have more reps there. I think it's possible they move Trey Sweeney. I know they like the kid. I mean, he was their first round pick. You might, you brought up Peterson. You might have to overpay to get a guy like Jock Peterson because the Giants, I mean, they're kind of in contention right now and they've been playing really well. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know, but it's possible they trade him.
Yeah, I mean, just an idea. Especially, I mean, we just see prospects. I know he's really hyped up and he's tearing it up, but I mean, if you're going to trade him, now is the time. And it's just also weird that the Yankees, like, why did they wait until now to finally convert Peraza to a third baseman or second baseman? Why didn't they do that earlier? If they knew they had Volpe.
It's a great question. I don't really know.
I don't know. It's just a little weird. I mean, let's move back to the actual team though. How about we give props to Billy McKinney?
Yes.
The next Matt Carpenter, basically.
Yes.
I mean, it is crazy. Look, we gave Cashman a decent amount of credit in our video for like finding those under the radar guys. I'm convinced maybe it's not Cashman, because you look at our lineup, it is a lot of, and we've seen this before, it's just a lot of random guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's more of like the scouting team. Obviously, Cashman has the final say whether to bring the guy in or not. But I mean, Cashman, to be honest, he's not out there like looking at
Yeah,
stats.
no,
Oh, look at Billy McKinney's underlying. No, no. I mean, it is his final say, the guys he brings in, so you give him credit. But I mean, look, I mean, the guys the Yankees bring in, I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. I mean, Billy McKinney, Jake Bowers, Billy McKinney. I mean, he's just been unreal. They call him Billy the Kid. He's awesome to watch play. He has a great swing. Every time he hits a home run, it's a monster shot. He's hitting for contact too. He's above 300 batting average, and he's made some really nice plays out there in the outfield. So yeah, he looks good, and hopefully the guys the Yankees are bringing in here, the Jake Bowers, the Billy McKinneys, both left-handed. Hopefully this is a sign for the Yankees and for Cashman to bring in some big-time lefty bats in the future. One of them potentially Muntaka Murakami from Japan. He's going to be a free agent. He's going to come to the MLB this year. He's crazy. He's crazy. And Yankees have really missed out over the last 10 years or so. They just don't have many lefty like power bats in Yankee Stadium. They got Rizzo. He was awesome. He's a 10 out of 10, but we need more of those guys.
Joey Gallo.
Yeah,
Joey Gallo. Ryan, who would you rather have up down 2 runs right now in extra innings? You need a homer to tie it. Billy McKinney or Josh Donaldson?
Oh my God, I'm taking Billy McKinney.
Wrong,
I mean, I can't believe
that's incorrect. The right answer was Josh Donaldson.
I can't. You're crazy if you think Josh Donaldson can't have a bounce back year. I mean, the quotes with Boone this is just also another thing that's so frustrating for fans. Is just like, I get what Boone's trying to do. He's trying to like protect his player. That's most of the reason he was brought in here, because he's a players coach, and he's always there for his players. And I get that, but I mean, there's ways of calling out a player without disrespecting him, saying, yeah, that guy has to make that play 10 out of 10 times. That's a joke. He has to do better. No, I mean, you could say, look, Josh Donaldson, the veteran in this league, blah, 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 whatever. But I mean, some of the quotes Boone just says are just like, they're like, what are you thinking? And they're so frustrating for fans hearing that. So frustrating.
I know. It drives fans crazy. It's like he does it on purpose. He just wants to get a reaction. But I don't know. I just try and tune out the Boone stuff. I know it literally doesn't mean anything. He just says whatever he wants to the media, whether it's injuries, whether it's their thoughts on a guy. He'll say whatever he wants.
Christian, for our next conversation piece, this is a pretty interesting one. As we know, Ian Hamilton is coming off the IL, is going to join the Yankees this road trip. So the Yankees are going to have to make a roster move, and they're going to have to make it in the bullpen. One of the guys you'd think would be probably option is Nick Ramirez, because he does have options. But Nick Ramirez has just been phenomenal for the Yankees, and he's a lefty. Yankees don't have many lefty relievers in their bullpen. And Nick Ramirez has pitched really good. So they're going to have to make a roster move. So, I mean, what do you do there?
I mean, I do think it's Ramirez.
Yeah.
I mean, he only pitches basically in blowouts. So.
Well, he pitched yesterday.
Yeah. Is Matt Crooks still on the team?
He got sent down.
Okay. Well, he already is sent down then. Yeah, then I guess it's Ramirez. I mean, they kind of just called him up to fill innings. So he's the guy. But, I mean, boy, it's going to be nice having Ian Hamilton back in the bullpen. Because your bullpen that's already really good now gets even better. So at this point, we have Ian Hamilton, who we can trust a lot. Clay Holmes, who has earned our trust back fully.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Canely, who
hasn't given up a run in 9 2/3.
Yeah. Mike King, he's struggled, but I still trust him a lot. Look, I mean, to have 4 guys like that,
Wandy too.
well, I wouldn't group him in right now, but
No, he's struggling, but he's been pretty good when he's on his A game. Ron's looked better as of late. He's pitched really well. Last 2 days especially. I mean, their bullpen's the best in baseball for a reason. I mean, it's just awesome. They wouldn't be in a playoff spot right now without their bullpen. Their bullpen's the best in baseball. It's the best for a reason, and it's totally been good. We got a comment here. Should Yankees? They're strolling through here. Strolling through. We got one about IKF being good lately.
You want this? Judge isn't out for the rest of the year. He's not.
No, I mean, there's no guarantees, but
he would come back injured.
Yeah,
even if it's not the best move, I think he would come back injured.
Yeah, I mean, he's $40 million. You have him under contract for a long time. But if you look at the injury, you should be able to get him back by August or September. But what I've been hearing with this injury, the longer he's out, the worse it is, because that means the more severe the injury is, and that means it's much harder to come back from. Judge does expect to come back this season. Like I said, I think you said there's no guarantees. Boone said the same thing. But Don LaGreca and Pierre Rosenberg were talking about this on the K show today. If they could get Judge back like 80% and maybe just like DH him, you take that, or just have them on the team in any capacity. But you just gotta hope everything's gonna be okay and we get him back on schedule. It's really all we can do right now.
Yeah. I do think we should give some props to Clarke Schmidt. He
Yes.
has completely turned his season around. And look, maybe he just had to get used to being a starter.
Yeah.
I'll find it, but I don't think, before this year, I think he may have started like 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
I could
he was a starter. He came out as a starter in the minor league. I mean, this guy's a first-round pick, so he's super talented. But
here, so he started 1 game in 2020 and 2021, and then 3 games in 2022. So 5 games before this year. Like maybe it's an adjustment,
Yeah, I mean, he's been nailed since May 19th. I mean, I think he's pitching to like a low 2 ERA since that point, and he's going deeper in games. Now he's starting to give you the 5-6 innings. Before it was a struggle for him to get through, 4 or 5. But look, he's pitched a lot better. The Yankees just got to get him runs. They haven't been scoring him runs when he pitches.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Yeah, well, he's the new Monty. They have to pick someone.
One pitcher on the team to just bully, just never score.
Well, that's what the Mets would always do with DeGrom.
That's what the Mets would do with everybody. I don't think.
Yeah, the Mets suck this year. But
I wonder if they were just getting no hit. I wonder if they were still getting no hit. I don't know.
Highest payroll in baseball.
I will say one thing that bugs me this year is when Yankees and Mets gets grouped in the same category. When it's like, oh, the New York team's not doing too hot. Yankees are a playoff team.
Yeah,
Mets
the Yankees are a much
team.
better team. Yeah, the Yankees are a much better team than the Mets. I mean, are the Yankees the best team in baseball? No. But, I mean, the Yankees have the talent to be that team. The Mets they're just not a good team. They don't have a good bullpen. Buck's making bad managerial decisions, and they're just a bad team. So, that's all there is to it. But Christian, we play the Oakland A's next. We got 3 games against the A's, then we got 3 games against the Cardinals. The schedule is getting a lot easier. So how do you think the Yankees finish? Like, let's group in this month, July, August, September. What do you think the Yankees' record will be when it's all said and done?
Well, I can't do that math. I'll go by winning percentage. So they're at 551 now. I think the Yankees do get hot or I don't know if I would say they get hot. I think they win games just because they're playing a lot of really bad teams. So, like, there's a really good chance, and they don't even have to play good. and they can sweep the Oakland Athletics. They play the Cardinals. Everyone saw the stat, but it was like they play 5 last place teams in the next 8 series or something. So, look, I mean, I think the Yankees, they could creep up. I don't know if they're going to be able to jump Baltimore. They might have to wait till Aaron Judge comes back to do that.
Baltimore is interesting. I think they can jump Baltimore. I don't think it'd be easy, but I think they can. I don't think like you can sit up here and say the Yankees can't jump Baltimore. Were they 5 games back from Baltimore? And I think they play them. They play them 6 more times. Big series 4th of July. That should be fun. But yeah, I mean, I think the Yankees can catch Baltimore. Listen, the Yankees have been. I mean, listen, just because they're a New York team and we had much higher expectations for them, and some things aren't going our way. But, the Yankees, listen to New York media, I mean, they get bashed. I mean, you really think they're a much worse team than they are. But, you look around baseball, and Christian, you kind of said this earlier. I mean, they're right up there. Don't they have like the 6th or 7th best record in baseball, something like that?
The Yankees?
Yeah.
I could get back. I know at one point it was like they were going to be like the 6th team to 40 wins, and then they lost a few games. I'm not sure. Keep talking. I'll look.
Yeah. But, I mean, you look at the Dodgers, you look at the Astros, they'll get better when they get Yordan Alvarez back. But the Yankees aren't like, I mean, they're not a dumpster fire. They're not a garbage can of a team. I mean, there is definitely problems with them, but, I mean, they just got to get healthy. The offense has to start hitting better, and, they'll be in a good spot. At this point, I'm just like, let's get into the playoffs. Let's see what happens. We just got to get healthy. That's the biggest thing with this team. They have to find a way to stay healthy. No more getting guys this trade deadline with shoulder injuries. It's crazy. Every guy the Yankees acquired last deadline ended up getting surgery. That's just. I don't know how that happens. Everyone's talking about getting Carlos Rodon back, and I'm pumped for Rodon. Don't get me wrong. And everyone's pumped for Aaron Judge to get back, and I'm pumped for Judge to get back. Don't get me wrong. But what no one is talking about when we get my boy Frankie Montas back and at the end.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I don't really want him pitching this year.
No. The Yankees should just sideline him for the rest of the year. I mean, they might try to get him back just because they're paying him this season and he's done nothing for them, but
I'd feel bad if Frankie doesn't realize it though. And he's working so hard to get back. And
he started a throwing program.
He keeps getting these messages, his group chat with Boone, Cashman, and Howe. They keep saying, Frankie, take your time. Take your time. All right, relax. Okay. We don't rush. We don't need you getting injured anymore. Okay. Let's shoot to have you back in like November. Okay. To get back to you, they're the 9th team in baseball though.
So,
not good, but they're also within a game of they're within 2 games of 4 teams. So, they're in there. They're going to be a wild card team this year. And hopefully when Judge comes back close to the playoffs, they can get hot. And who knows?
Yeah, I think they really got to make some trade deadline acquisitions. I think they need to bring in some big time players like a Jock Peterson. Honestly, I don't even know if we need to start. I mean, listen, if you could get a guy like Lucas Giolito or Bieber for a really nice price, obviously go out and make that move because you never have enough pitching, no matter how good your pitcher is. But I really think the Yankees need to upgrade their offense. Listen, another guy, Jaime Candelario, was brought up today by Fireside Yankees, has like an 850 OPS third baseman. Listen, even if it has to be a creative move, like we never saw the Yankees getting Anthony Rizzo in 2021, and then boom, because the Yankees had Luke Voit and we got Rizzo. Even if it's something like that where you have to like double up at a position, I don't care. Just let's get some offense And if we get some offense, we get Judge back. We got Cole and Rodon. I think the Yankees will be in good shape. And another thing, Christian, I just thought about this now. I like how the Yankees match up in a wild card series. 3-game series. You got Cole, you got Rodon, and you got that loaded bullpen. And then I guess 3 would either be Nestor, Severino, or someone else based off how they pitch here down the stretch. But it's really, really tough going into a series facing Rodon and Cole.
Someone did at. Do you know what's the deal with Nestor? Someone.
Yeah. Nestor I think he started throwing yesterday, or he's going to start throwing soon. So I would say probably the Yankees get Nestor back like 2-3 weeks, because however long you're out is however long it takes you to ramp back up. So I'd say probably like 2 to 3 weeks they get Nestor back, and they could slide him in, and we'll see how he does, because he's not pitched well this year. First couple starts were pretty good, but he's not pitched well. And I think the Yankees have enough depth, but I mean the Yankees are really looking for a third guy right now, because you got Rodon, you got Cole, but they're really looking for that third guy.
Yeah, I mean, you were just dreaming about the playoffs, Ryan. I'm trying to not do that, because I don't want to get blinded. And I know that we were pretty optimistic and looking ahead to what this team can be. It should not be ignored that this offense is one of the worst in baseball right now. And I know there's a lot of things that can make it better, right? The trade deadline, Judge, the guys that should be hitting start hitting.
Yeah.
But right now, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. So the Yankees do need to address that, and they can't just get blinded by, Rodon coming back and other things can happen. No, you have to address this if you want to be legitimate contenders, or else we're going to go in the postseason. We're going to do what we're doing now, score 1-2 runs, and it's going to be a disaster. So
listen, I mean, it's getting to the point now with the offense in the playoffs. It's just year in and year out. It's just like they don't score, and they don't. This is the problem. They don't. Like they tried fixing it last year, but it's always like Brian Cashman in the Yankees front office. They're always like late to the punt. Like they're always late to fix their problems. Like everyone was saying, Yankees need lefty bats. Yankees need lefty bats. And then they went out, got Rizzo and Gallo. Yankees need contact hitting. Yankees need contact hitting. They went out, got contact hitting. The guys got hurt. DJ and Benintendi got hurt. And then they didn't get any more contact hitting. And it's just like year in and year out with the playoffs. Like we get it, they're built to hit home runs. It works in the regular season. We've seen it. They like power hitters. They like guys who hit a lot of home runs. That's fine. But in the postseason, you got to be able to play small ball. You got to be able to move runners over, put the ball in play. And every year, the Yankees just can't situational hit in the playoffs. It kills them. And the strikeouts are always brutal for the Yankees in the playoffs. And the reason why the Astros are always better than the Yankees, especially in the postseason, is because the Astros, not only do they hit home runs, but they do the little things too. And the Yankees have to fix those problems. And then once they do, then they have a really good shot. But the Astros haven't been good this year. So like you brought up before. So I as of now, I mean, it's really anyone's game. Because the Rays are a really analytical team, but we saw this before from the Rays, right, Christian? Albeit besides 2020, but I mean, in 2021, the Rays were one of the best teams in baseball. I think they had the second best record, and they were just running with the American League. And then they lost in 5, I think it was 4 or 5 games to the Red Sox. But right now, it's anyone's game, no doubt about it.
Yeah, but you shouldn't go into the playoffs like just hoping to get hot.
No, you can't. No.
But I think that's kind of the Yankees' mentality. In fact, I think they've said that before, that the playoffs is just a crapshoot, and we're going to go in and hope.
The way and Hal even kind of brought on to this on the K show. The way the Yankees are looking at it is, all right. The Yankees, the way they're looking at it is, the playoffs are a crapshoot, right? But if the Yankees, what?
They're not. I mean, the Astros have one.
Well, look, the Yankees are looking at it sort of. I think they're kind of looking at it as a crapshoot. Look, get into the playoffs, just get into the playoffs. And if the Yankees keep getting into the playoffs, then you got to think eventually something's going to give. That's kind of what I'm thinking that how they're looking at it. Like, if we keep getting in, eventually something's going to have to give. Eventually we're going to get hot. But that doesn't mean you can't just sit back and not address the problems. You want to do the best that you can when playoffs come. And the Astros, I mean, what they've been able to do, the success they've been able to have, especially in today's game, it's really, really good. But listen, it's anyone's game right now. I think bottom line, got to make some trades, got to upgrade that offense. And, we'll see. I think we'll really see where this team is. I think end of August, we'll really see what this team is.
Yeah. I'll say it. If the Yankees get shut down by any of Oakland's pitchers, I'm going to be so depressed and so down on this team. That's as bad as it gets. If the Yankees can't hit them, forget the season.
Thank God Medina and Waldachuk and Sears are all sucking for the Oakland A's. We gave them up in the Montas trade. And everyone's like, some people are like, oh, like Cash God or whatever. I think they're mostly joking. Even though I think the reason those guys are sucking is because they're young kids. They're playing for the Oakland A's, on track to be one of the worst teams ever. The A's don't have good coaching staff.
And they had to go through the Yankees minor league system, which is
they have no idea what they're doing. But I mean, at least they're not pitching well, because that would drive me nuts. I mean, Frankie Montas trade is going to go down as one of the worst trades in Yankees history. I mean, this guy, we traded for him. He gave us 3 or 4 lousy starts, busted up his elbow, his arm, and then never pitched again.
I wonder if he had worse stats than Heaney. He might have.
Oh, Heaney. Heaney might be.
Well, Montas handed in a few good starts, so I don't know.
A few. He had his best start was 5 shutout innings against the Rays, and that was it. That was it.
He won a scrappy one against the Mets too.
Yeah, he
wasn't
won
as bad
5
as Heaney,
innings,
I don't
2
think.
runs.
I don't know. But the fact that those guys basically had the same Yankee careers and what you gave up for the two is kind of crazy. But that happens. Trades can be random.
Yeah, Cashman's had a lot of bad trades. I mean, the Montas trade, and then the Donaldson IKF trade. Gallo trade. Oh, the Gallo trade. I mean, Ezekiel Duran.
The Joely Rodriguez trade. I mean, not the Gallo.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Gallo trade just looks awful. And then he rebounded with getting Beater. But, I mean, Ezekiel Duran. I mean, imagine how much better this team would be right now if we had Ezekiel Duran. The kid's 24 years old. He can play the infield. He can play shortstop, third base. I think he even plays second, too. And he plays the outfield as well. He had him in left field this series. He's 24 years old, batting above 300. I think he has 13 homers. I mean, it's just...
Sounds like IKF. Utility guy, right? Anyways, that's all I got, Ryan. Anything else on the team?
No, Christian. I think we summed it all up. There's some things to look forward to. The All-Star game, Carlos Rodon's debut, and Judge coming back. And, there's some things to look forward to. The trade deadline as well. But I guess we could take a couple of questions here and then wrap it up.
All right, let me say. Return of Andrew McCutchen.
He would be fun. I mean, he would be fun.
I don't know. I'm convinced whoever we get, I need it to be a lefty. It's a lefty? Just a mental thing in my head. I
could see that. McCutchen, I wouldn't mind, but should we be trusting Domingo? Domingo, look, he's all or nothing.
For the regular season, sure. I mean, he'll hand in a good start and a bad one.
No, he shouldn't be starting a playoff game. But, I mean, could he come out of the bullpen maybe in the playoffs? Sure. But, I mean, look, he's literally all or nothing. He either gets lit up or he goes out there and he throws 7 shutout innings, or he's doing stuff at home. But there's really no in between with him. Can we get IKF appreciation? He's quietly playing okay.
Let's go IKF.
And he's got a great attitude. Definitely has a great attitude. Awesome attitude. He does. I mean, he's honest. He said the pressure of him being shortstop last year got to him. No BS with him. Listen, is he the most talented player in the world? No. But, I mean, he says all the right things, does all the right things. I'm sure he works hard. Listen, I mean, he gets hot sometimes, but, he's what he is. But I don't know. I don't mind IKF.
He's having his worst season of his career. Not what we want.
He's better than Ohtani. Come on.
I know. There's no reason he should be playing. Zero reason he should be playing center field. But that's where we're at, I guess. So.
Yeah. Well, that's where we're at. Wouldn't be surprised if Donaldson's struggling and they move him to left field or something. Yeah. I honestly, I don't even know if you'd be that surprised. Some guy called into the K show the other day, and this was funny. It was all over Twitter. He was a serious caller. He called in and was saying how the Yankees should move Josh Donaldson to shortstop.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll say this. That's not that crazy compared to having Gio Urshela play shortstop. And I know at the time you didn't have a shortstop. They're probably pretty similar in terms of range, and they're both third basemen. Yet that actually happened.
Urshela made a couple spot starts there at shortstop. And
he was the shortstop.
What?
He was the shortstop at the end of whatever that year was.
Was he? No, it was Velasquez.
Oh, right. But yeah, no, so he was starting a lot down the stretch.
He was the shortstop going into last season because we didn't have a shortstop on our team. But that's just because the Yankees were gonna get a shortstop. I mean, everyone knew that they weren't gonna go with Gio.
Going into the season without a shortstop is borderline insane.
Cashman was right because Gio Urshela is no Josh Donaldson because Gio Urshela is not shit. And Donaldson, I mean, that quote did that quote age well? I mean, oh my God, that was brutal. All right, guys, I think that's all we got for tonight. Thank you for coming on here and spending your time with us. It was definitely a good chat. And that's really all I got. You got anything else, Christian?
Let's sweep the Athletics.
Get a sweep. Let's go 6-0 against the Athletics this year.
Would that be a 5-game win streak if we do?
Yeah, that'd be a 5-game win streak.
That would feel good if we do that.
That'd be a we're back moment.
We'd be feeling really, really good.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Yeah.